So let's start with our weekly reviews. In May, from the first week of May, the first week of May, we took just three trades. We had the win and two losses. And our error that week that we kept making, the mistake we kept making that week was on premium and discounts. All right. And we traded just three pairs: GBP USD, BTC USD. All right. So the second week of May, it's when we passed our 10K prop and got funded $10,000. All right, that happened the second week of May. And during that week, we took six trades. We had just one win, which happened to be the win that got us funded. And we took five losses, all right, with a win rate of 20%. And we also repeated the previous error, which is forgetting to mark out our premium and discount zone. Since this premium and discount error appeared twice, this is a major problem, all right, because we are repeating the previous mistake. Right here, we took all our trades on BTC, USD, and gold. So the third week, this was, for me personally, this was a trying week for me because I had back-to-back losses, 100% losing weight, all right. And most of the trades I took, were first trades. So the last week of May, we breached one of our evaluation accounts. All right, we breached one of our evaluation accounts. So we had to break the maximum loss limit. All right. I took too many unnecessary trades on this account, so I kind of get it. I kind of know where I fucked up. So let's go straight to where I recorded every trade. All right. So this is where May started from. This is the first week of May. All right. This is May 1st and the first week of May. So the first week, three trades. All right. You can see how I took so many trades. I took 27 trades in a month. All right. Excluding the Sundays, that means I traded every day the market opened. All right. This is a sign of over trading. Excluding the Sundays, I traded every day the market opens. That's the meaning of the 27 trades. That's fucked up. That's effed up. That's effed up. All right. And I struggled with so many errors. The first one I'm going to sample is on this NZD USD right here. I saw this setup. It was a clean setup. All right. It was a clean setup. I expected to get one which will fall out of this rejection from this support. And I saw a shift on the 4 hour, on the 1 hour, I have, on the daily time frame. I have a rejection from this support and formation of new support level. All right. I saw this trade was a good one. But what happened? I got scared. All right. I got scared and I chickened out with 2.5 risk to reward profit. While I knew this trade was going to deliver over 4 rewards, all right, over 4 times my risk amount. But I chickened out at 2.5 reward, all right. And my minimum risk to reward was supposed to be 3% or 3 times my risk, but I chickened out at 2.5. And what the price do? Price delivered to exactly where I intended. All right, I closed out at this point. The price delivered to exactly where I intended price to take out. All right, if you take a look at, okay, this is the weekly. All right, so this is the first error I made, which is trade management. All right, I need to focus more on set and forget. The reason, let's take a look at the trade so I can explain the reason I chickened out of the trade. So I can explain the reason I chickened out of the trade. On the 1 hour time frame, after I entered the trade right here, around this area, my stop loss here, and on the 4 hours time frame, I saw that price has already delivered to my target. I held it until price came at somewhere here. All right. Now, When I saw this rejection, that at the time this candle has not closed, all right. So it was a full bearish candle. When I saw this rejection, I chickened out because I thought, what if price comes back at this low? I didn't want to see a winning trade turn into a losing trade. Then I chickened out here. But on the daily time frame, it's obvious price has to retest this resistance turn support. All right, this is very, very obvious. And what if price even comes back to this low? I entered at this point. I could have maybe set my stop loss to break even and held it, but I chickened out, and this made me lose. The other side of this made me lose a $10,000 funded account. Because after this, I went into chaos. All right, I went into trying to recover, or like trying to make up for this money I left on the table here, and I got into a series of bad trades. So the first error I made here is cutting winners too early. All right, this is the first error I made here, cutting winners too early. This is one of the mistakes I made in May. I'm documenting this so I can come back to this anytime. This is one of the mistakes I made in May, cutting winners too early. So another mistake I made that I would like to discuss in this class is on GBP share. All right, on GBP share, let's start with the initial chart. All right, I saw this weekly rejection on GBP share, and I saw this break. And was the previous week's candle. So I anticipated a sell from this resistance level right here to take out this low. And on the daily time frame, the break was obvious. On the daily time frame, the break is obvious: rejection from this level, break of this resistance level, and a newly support level. And price came back to that level and rejected again, confirming the selling pressure. I entered this sell. Let's go to GBP share. All right, let's go to GBP share. Good. This was the sell. All right, this is it from the weekly time frame. This rejection at that time, this candle was a full candle up to this point. So I anticipated this sell to happen. Now I took this sell, but price took me out of the trade. I took the sell from this point. All right, but price took me out of the trade. Why? Due to spread. I'm never going to take GBP shares trade again, ever again, because the spread is just too much. All right, I entered this trade twice. I entered here. It took me out due to spread and swap fee. All right, not just spread, swap fee. I was in a trade of 1:4. I was on my third day of holding this trade. I was already down 1.5% on swap fee. On my third day of holding this trade, I was already down 1.5% on swap fee. All right, I tried to hold. I think I held this trade over the weekend. On the first three trades, which is from Friday to Monday, I was already down 1.5%. So I had to take the loss, and after the loss, price delivered and currently delivering to my exit zone. All right, and the second entry I took here on the 4 hours. All right, I saw a rejection from resistance zone and break. All right, I saw this rejection from this resistance zone right here. I saw this rejection from this resistance zone and this engulfing right here, and I entered at this resistance. All right, but you can't believe it again. When price goes to my entry, it took me out due to spread. On this particular trade, price took me out due to spread before going in my direction. You can see how annoying it is. All right, these are the issues I'm facing currently, and I'm sampling it right here to learn from it, and also to see if you can learn from it. All right, so this is it right here. This is where I took the trade. You can see rejection from the resistance level and break. All right, You can see it's same thing that's happened right here. Rejection from this resistance and break. So I entered at this level right here. It went directly to where I anticipated it to happen from. It went directly to that area, but all right, there's a but. It went directly to that area, but it took me out due to spread. All right, it took me out due to spread. Now, what's another error I made? Another error I made. Another error I made. Another. I think no, I didn't. This is not an error. This is not an error. I saw this rejection. Now, during the month of May, I took so many unnecessary loss. You can see I took so many unnecessary loss, and most of my losses comes from, let's say, 3 to 4 trading errors. All right. I'm currently struggling with trading management. Let's say as at May 2026, I struggle with trade management. I struggled with over trading. I struggle with trading random pairs, all right? Trading random pairs. And this third reason is quite, I was looking at what other people were doing on social medias, on Telegram channels. All right. I was looking at what other traders were doing, and it made me start posting trades. The new week, June, week 1. Here's our plan. All right. Here's our plan for the new week. For June, the first week of June, here's our plan for the new week. So we'll be taking 2 trades maximum, all right? 2 maximum trades daily. We will be taking 2 maximum trades daily. If the first trade is a way, all right, if our first trade is a winner, we walk away for that day, all right? We'll be taking 2 maximum trades daily. If the first trade is a winner, we walk away from that day. If the first trade is a winner, we walk away for that day. All right. This is the first plan. We'll be taking maximum of 2 trades daily. If the first trade is a winner, we walk away for that day. Now, the second plan is we trade only pairs on our watch list. We trade only the pairs on our watch list, which is GJ, gold, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. All right, these are the only pairs we trade. All right, which is GBP JPY, gold, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. Any other pairs, we are not interested. All right, we are not interested in any other pairs. All right, so the maximum trades we are going to take this week, should be max trade this week should be 6 trades. All right, max trade this week is 6 trades. All right, the max trades this week is 6 trades. We are not taking more than 6 trades this week. This is our plan. All right, and we are trading just 2 setups. Just 2 setups. Now, the first setup we are going to be trading is what we call the rejection and formation of a level. This is an example. You see how price rejected from this support level that took out an high. So this is a value support. Price rejected from this support level and created a new support. All right, this is our type B entry. All right, this is our type B entry. Rejection and support. All right. Entry plan. All right. Entry plans. We have two entry plans. The first entry plan is rejection and formation. All right. Rejection and formation of level, which is what I explained just now. Now, the second entry plan is rejection and break of level. Rejection and break of level. All right. Same time frame, or a time frame lower. All right, this can happen on same time frame or a time frame lower, but it's rejection and break of a level. All right, rejection and break of an opposite level or an opposing level. For example, when we say rejection and break, this is what we mean. All right, using this, let's just use this. Using GBP shelf, you can see the rejection from this resistance zone right here on the daily time frame. This is the rejection from this resistance zone. And on the 4-hour time frame, you have a break. All right. On the 4-hour time frame, you have a break of this zone right here. This is a shift. And price came back to use this newly created resistance to create a new low. All right. And it worked perfectly. So this is a rejection from the higher time frame. Okay, this is a rejection from the higher time frame and what a break on the lower time frame. All right, you can see the rejection on the higher time frame, and on the 4-hour time frame we have a break. This break right here is what we see here. All right, the break is what we see here as an engulfing pattern. All right. The break is what we see here as an engulfing pattern. On the 4-hour, it is a valid break. And you can see our price use that to create a swift new low. All right, so that is our type 2 entry. So this is our type 2 entry: rejection, break, another rejection from this level, and breaks. And you can see our price use this new resistance to create a new low. All right, that is it. Rejection and break, either on the same level or not. This rejection and break is a level lower. All right, the one rejection for a break. All right, so let's look at something else that gives us a rejection and break on same time frame. I want some good. Now, this on the second week of May. This is a rejection from this support level. All right. So this is a rejection and formation of level. Now, from this rejection and formation of new level, we have a rejection from this new support level and a break of this resistance. So when price came back to this newly created support level, it was my time to buy, and I bought at this newly created support level, and my stop loss should be a little bit below this level. All right, and my target at the next high. And you can see how it played out. Price tagged me in, and boom. So that is it. That is just the two signals we want to trade this week: rejection and formation of new level, rejection and break of an opposing level, either on same time frame or a time frame lower.